What do you call a deer with no eyes? No idea. What do you call a deer with no eyes and no legs? Still no idea. Oh, it's a good one. Today's video comes in 3 parts. Part 1, the ostrich versus the midget debate. Okay, so I've been thinking that if I was put in a fight against an ostrich, I really wouldn't fancy my chances of winning. And I'm like 6 foot tall, so if I can't win a fight against an ostrich, there's no way a midget could win a fight against an ostrich. It just wouldn't happen. So yeah, I think an ostrich would easily win a fight against a midget. Now, we've seen before on this channel that I've got some quite awesome MS Paint skills. So I decided to depict a fight between me and an ostrich using MS Paint. Don't ask me why I decided to do this, because I'm not really too sure, but just enjoy the depiction. Johnny gets put in a fight against an ostrich. Johnny decides he doesn't want to fight against the ostrich, and tries to make friends with the ostrich. The ostrich isn't bothered about making friends with Johnny. The ostrich pecks Johnny to death. The end. Part 2, the caveman versus the astronaut debate. So I kind of agree with Todd that it depends whose turf the fight's on. For example, if the fight's on the moon, then obviously the astronaut's going to win because he's going to have a spacesuit on, and he's going to be able to breathe, you know, oxygen and stuff. Whereas the caveman, who'll also be on the moon having the fight, won't be able to last more than about 30 seconds before he passes out and dies. On the other hand, if the fight was to take place in a dimly lit cave on Earth, then obviously the caveman is going to have a better knowledge of the surroundings, and so the caveman will probably win. So let's just say for argument's sake that the fight's been held on neutral ground. Now it's a bit of a tricky question and I don't really know what the right answer is, but I'm going to say that the caveman would probably win on neutral ground. Okay, so even though an astronaut's really intelligent, and he also has to be fit to go into space and so on, his survival skills will be as adept as a caveman's survival skills would be. Because like a caveman is used to hunting for his food, he's used to spearing animals to death and like clubbing animals and throwing rocks at them and stuff. So I reckon a caveman is quite a good fighter, good at hunting and so on. Whereas an astronaut isn't really trained in combat, so I've got to say that a caveman would probably quite easily beat an astronaut. Part 3 of the video, superpowers. My superhero name would be Muffin Man, because I love muffins. And the powers that Muffin Man would have would be quite varied. First of all, Muffin Man would be able to change any food he wanted into a muffin. And when he ate those muffins, he would get super strength. Muffin Man would also be able to change ordinary muffins into weapons to defeat his enemies. A Muffin Man's final superpower would be that he would be able to bake the world's best tasting muffin. Okay guys, I'll see you all next week.